2.
6.
Do you have the mic turned on now?
Yeah.
I'm noticing the mic line going a little crazy. Do you have the mic turned on? Oh, and somebody's got their sound on in the audience. That's all
You're
right.
live now.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Shop news, right?
Sure. You're going to start right with shop news? How
Well,
about how your week went?
Oh, okay. I'm not
You
sure.
were busy.
I don't know. You're the one that has the agenda.
I do. And I'm like, how did your week go?
Oh, my week was fine. Thank you so much for asking.
I see you've been shopping for old scooter parts.
Okay, yeah.
And I want the truth.
What?
How much did that scooter cost?
The scooter cost me $500. It's a 1985 Honda Elite 150. It is a vintage piece of machinery.
Uh-huh.
Motor purrs like a kitten.
Uh-huh.
But it needs a new headlight. And I am now embarking on the greatest scooter build ever.
Are you putting any sewing machines on it?
Nope.
No.
I've
Sewing
acquired.
machine engine works by
I have
sewing machine
acquired
engine?
a Honda Goldwing fairing. You know what a Honda Goldwing is, right?
No.
It's got a giant. It's got the giant front end, which is about. So I'm gonna put that on the scooter so it looks like a bobblehead. I'm gonna call it the bobblehead scooter.
Oh.
It's gonna be epic and spectacular and
And it's going to be Brenterized.
yes, and it's gonna be fantastic. And I have no idea why I'm doing it, but
Oh.
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So that's what I do with my
Well,
weekend.
so you're doing
I
that
have acquired my parts. Yes, that was this
Instead
one.
of making over old sewing machines, you're now making over old scooters.
Yes. I mean, we could do
Interesting.
sewing machines. Put a motor on,
Yeah.
put a gas on it.
No.
For the apocalypse,
I just
gas
thought that
powered.
was very interesting. Well, you want to know what I did?
What did you do? You did probably something way more interesting, more apropos to our audience, I'm sure.
I am a champion. I am a champion
You didn't win at golf.
of the world.
Did you win at golf?
We had a team. I was on the winning team.
Okay, wait.
you.
Wait, but is it with a handicap?
And it was handicapped, which is why they wanted me on their team. But
Nice.
the best part of it was there was 3 guys and there was me. So the 3 guys had to tee off way back there. And they didn't have the lowest handicaps either. So their balls would ding and dong and ding and dong, and we'd be going, oh no, Becky, it's all up to you. Well, Becky gets to tee off way up high. So it doesn't matter if I don't have a far shot, because it's going to be in the fairway. I could kick it, and it would go in the fairway.
You kick the balls in the fairway.
My drive was be out there, and he'd be like, yes, we got a drive.
Nice.
Yeah, we won.
What did you win? Like a T-shirt?
$27 to the shop. Each one of us.
Nice.
So now, just saying, I'm in high demand.
So you're
High demand
yeah.
for a candy-capped scramble.
Wait.
I'm your gal.
But wait, you won money at golf. So the fact that you got paid to play.
Golf Shot Pro. Golf Shot Pro. It's pro shop credits. It's not cash.
Yeah, but you won, so therefore
I
you are
did.
now a professional because you have
No.
got paid to win.
I don't think anybody would believe I was professional.
I'm not quite a professional.
So,
I
if you need a high handicapper for a scramble, because see, a scramble I don't have to hit every ball,
Oh, okay.
right? I don't have to be good at every shot.
You just have to. Okay.
Because after I hit a good one, I'm like, done. It's up to you guys. I can just sit back and let
Just
them
wa-
go.
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my
So, yeah,
week to do.
you
I
got-
never. It was felt good. It felt
You
good.
you got to brag when you win. You got to
I don't
brag.
care how I won.
Yeah.
I can still say I won.
Exactly.
Yeah. 36.7 handicapper here. So
36.7.
if you need a high handicapper for a scramble, I'm your woman. Yes, I am.
Wow.
So how about it? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that was my.
That was
week to do
exciting.
over the weekend.
I
It
see
was-
why you won. That's about the weekend.
And
So
my
you could brag.
pool is up to 85 degrees.
Nice.
Woohoo! We are floating in the pool.
Nice.
But I gotta tell you something. I have taken more worms out this year than ever. What is with the worms?
I don't know. Probably the same thing with
I
the
mean,
ticks.
like, ugh. But
That's
now
just
that
gross.
it's heated up, I don't think they'll like it.
I would think they'd like it more.
No, I don't think so. Now that it's heated,
Like
I
these
think
giant.
they'll stay away.
Have you ever watched River Monsters?
No.
I don't swim anymore because I watch River Monsters.
Well, I don't swim in those rivers anyway.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Okay,
Now,
I when I go into Lake Sunapee, I go like this.
I thought, because he's always like down in like Central America and over in Russia for pulling these crazy things out of the rivers. He did one with Lake Champlain.
Oh.
And I'll never go swimming again.
Isn't that where the Loch Ness Monster
Oh
is?
no, the sea lampreys. Sea lampreys. It's like watching aliens.
Okay, I
it's
know,
awful.
I know,
No,
I
it's
know, I
Champ.
know.
Champ, yes,
Champ.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Back to shop news.
Yeah, so exciting stuff.
Yes, exciting stuff. So Brenda had worked out the schedule for these classes we were going to do, which I had on the thing. But I'm not going to announce classes because my mother called and she wants to hold court, as it were, while she's here.
Aww.
So we're planning. I don't have the exact dates yet, but we're probably going to have a little bit of a like a mini retreat type thing in mid-June. We're kind of
It's
come
not
hang out.
when we're not gonna be here, is it?
I don't think so. I don't
I
know.
hope not.
It's going to be late June. I'm trying to because.
That's when we're leaving.
We're leaving the 23rd,
And when are you coming back?
Sunday. We're leaving on a Wednesday.
We're not
Oh.
gonna be here that Wednesday.
Oh, it's all right. We'll figure that out. So anyway, just
Morning,
a heads
I'm
up.
not gonna be here
We
that
are working.
Wednesday.
We are working on classes. But June kind of got. I'm still working on details because we're gonna have like a mini retreat, come hang out, and
Oh,
food type thing.
fun.
It'll be
Fun.
I don't have exact dates on it. I'm still waiting to hear back from my mom what works out because everyone wants to see the original Becky, see
Yeah.
the OG
The
Becky.
mentor.
Yes, so that's what's in the works. Also for shop news is we had a shipment come in. Am I looking at the right camera?
We're on that.
That one there, yeah.
Number one.
So,
This is so far away.
yes, it is, but it's probably better,
Yeah, I know.
because if it's on
I
my
know.
wrong side, they can't tell.
I know.
Anyway, we had a shipment come in that I'm very excited about. And the only other person in here that was excited about it was Becky. Brenda saw it and is like, what the hell is that?
It's because I've seen what people are creating.
And I showed it to Danny. I'm like, Danny was, and I even showed it to Penny. Penny has a pretty eclectic taste, and I thought Penny was gonna love it. And Penny was like, why? And so I'm starting to think I might have failed, but I still love it. So I'm gonna show it off, and you get you all excited about it. And here it is.
They have to understand how it can be used.
Okay, Eddie.
We have to see a pattern.
Yeah, this is Tula Pink,
Tulip Pinks, Curious and Curiouser.
which is hot right now.
Yep. So
Hot.
this is just the roses. Here's the backing that I got to go with it. This is extra wide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one is
I
extra
didn't know
wide.
she did extra wide.
Oh yes. So there's that. And this is
Wow.
this is
I
one
mean,
of the reasons I bought
I'm
this.
gonna over here.
See, look at that. The Red Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's excited. I'm looking at
No,
Lynn.
wait.
I'm looking at
you
Lynn's
haven't-
face.
You
And
haven't
she's-
shown them the patterns. That's because you don't know what to do with it.
And here's
Right.
this is what is this? The Sea of something.
You know what I want on this one? I want a fussy cut. Get out of the way for a minute.
Okay.
I want a fussy
Oh, you
cut.
look, I thought you were pointing at this one.
No,
Okay.
I want to fussy cut the queen in on a bag, a
Oh,
purse.
God. That would scare anybody away.
But it's the Red Queen. It's supposed to. And here's some teacups. See, look, some teacups.
See, but you gotta see how they all.
Oh yeah, Eddie's gonna put
How
some
they
pictures
play,
up for
they
us.
play together really cute,
But
and
what's-
you don't really know what they are when you put them together.
And these
This I
all.
really
Yeah, this
like.
one's really cool. This is.
This is.
And
really
they all look really good with the existing Tulip Pink that we have. So Eddie has just put on the screen some patterns that are on the Free Spirit Fabrics
Yeah, but now we
website.
can't see this.
Okay, Eddie, okay, there we go.
I don't like the cat one. Find the teapots.
I
They
didn't see the
actually take
teapots.
the queens and the Alices and they stick them in the teapots.
Yeah, see, here's the Alice.
Fussy cut them.
See, look at that. Okay, the story I heard, I don't know if this is true, so I'm gonna share an urban legend.
Okay.
I don't know if this is true.
Okay.
My understanding is this here, that's actually Tulip Pink's sister. And it's based on a picture she took of her while she was taking a dump. And so when I heard that story, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I kind of see it. I don't know if it's true. It makes a
I don't
great
know.
story.
I don't go like this. I go like this.
Here are some.
So I don't think there's the right facial expression.
some cats. I don't know which way is up, but that's a Cheshire cat, and then here is some more. And what's really nice about this, all these colors really match the tulip pink we already have in the shop. So there's a lot of different things you can do with
To
that.
mix and match.
All right, that's all I got, Eddie. So there's a lot that you can mix and match with that. I'm really excited about it. Please come buy it so that I sell it, so that I can say to Brenda we should order more.
Well, some of the patents that are already out there, are those free? They're on the Free Spirit website?
There's a couple on the freespiritfabrics.com. There's a couple patterns which Eddie had just put up, which he can put up again, I suppose, if we ask him.
Yep.
Those two are free patterns on the website. And I know there's a lot more support for it because Tulip Pink.
There's a ton
Yeah,
out
Tulip
there.
Pink is one of those people that always has a ton of stuff going on. So
Yeah.
we don't have nearly all the fabric. I just picked the stuff that I really liked and I thought would kind of work with what we had. It's all available on our website. It's going to be $10.95 a yard. We've had to go up because inflation's coming. But $10.95 a yard with $7 flat rate shipping. So if you're interested in it, it's on the website right now. You can order as we're speaking to you.
Woohoo.
Yes. So that's all, and I think that's all. So I had covered classes, covered that. What did I forget?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, see? I know that last
Who
week.
needs sound effects when you got me?
I know. Are you using our sound effects, Eddie?
I don't remember which one's which.
Okay, never mind. We're also working on a soundboard. We're on,
Let's
so.
talk about this beautiful patriotic quilt
No.
just in time for Memorial Day and July 4th.
Yeah.
All summer long, beautiful.
So I was gonna put the other colorway for the block of the month we were doing, but I was like, Brenda just got the binding on this done today, so we decided that.
I love the show and tell part, gotta
Yeah.
tell ya.
So we thought, can you zoom into a couple of those blocks, Eddie?
Can you get in there? It doesn't look overly difficult. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it could be beginner friendly, Brenda? No?
I'm
You're
gonna
worried about that?
I'm gonna quote
Pat-
Brenda.
that
I'm gonna quote
big
Brenda.
piece?
There's a hell of a lot of piecing.
Oh, but I like these. Okay, yes.
But they're big pieces.
They're big
Yes.
pieces, yeah.
There's a lot of them though.
Well-
but yeah,
There's a lot
but
of
we do
Yeah.
have kits available. They're
Well,
80.
here's what the kit looks like. It comes with the patent
Yep.
and all the material required, minus the backing and the batting.
Yeah, nobody puts batting in kits, do they?
No, but sometimes they put backing.
Yeah, we never put backing in because you never know what they want to do
What
with
did
that.
Brenda choose?
We just did
Oh, very nice.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it was just a Stonehenge extra wide.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we have I think 4 of these kits available, 4 or 5.
For $89.95.
$89.95. So if you want one, pick it up now because now that we got the sample done, the kits aren't gonna last long. That's usually how this works.
Order them now. That is really cute.
Yeah, it came out nice.
It came out very nice. And seeing it close up is much different than seeing it here.
Yeah.
Eddie, did you catch that picture here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really a new patent,
Yeah.
whether it's for this fabric or not.
Yeah.
I like the patent. Liberty X-Frames. Very cool.
And speaking of inspiration and
Why don't you put that over there with that other stuff?
stuff, we're just gonna give you some pictures.
Yes. Show and tell.
Show and tell. So these are just some stuff that's been across the on your screen right now. These are just the stuff that's been on the long arm in the last week or two. That first one that Eddie just showed,
Yeah.
that one was actually a couple weeks ago. That one was really pretty.
Yeah. It was
Am I allowed to say? I don't know if I can say names or not.
We don't
but
know
anyway.
about names. You have to get written permission before we use
Written
names.
permission? Susan doesn't mind. The first one, she said we could. I asked her about that one because it was so gorgeous. She did a fantastic job. This one,
Coming out early. Oops.
Anyway, that, so yeah, those are just, we just thought we'd start highlighting some of the quotes that we've been
That
putting
come
in.
through.
Yeah, that come
what's
through.
What's on the machine?
Yeah.
What's on the machine?
Yeah, so
Some
those-
beautiful stuff.
just
and
to
if you're
kinda
not
get you
in here, you don't know. You don't
Yeah,
see it to get
so get you inspired. Well, what,
That's really cool. I'm wondering if they really English paper pieced that, or if they
she
did an
might
applique
have.
on that.
I know the woman that did it does a lot of handwork, so she
yeah,
may have.
that's
Well, I can ask her.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
All right. So that's excitement there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. All right.
See, that's a new segment now. I'm gonna make
Yeah,
you
a
do
new segment. Is
show
it gonna?
and
Are you gonna
tell.
put it on your notes?
I did. I
Okay.
did today. You didn't even know. I was gonna say this has to be on.
Okay.
See?
That's all I got. So I'm gonna turn it
No,
over
it's
to
not all
Becky.
you got.
Um,
Because
oh, Becky's gonna-
because you've been busy in the shop putting together some groupings.
Yeah, Maria and Brenda were having all sorts of fun the other day. And
Look at this.
I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're just cutting up fabric like nobody's business.
They actually made together 3-yard kits. I'm going to call them kits, where they took 3 different fabrics, 1 yard apiece,
Yep.
grouped them together in beautiful groupings, because lots of times people go, I don't know what to put with
Yeah.
what. And then, just to weigh your appetite, they have a couple books, and I guess you get some more
We've
coming
got,
in, right?
yeah, we've got, I think 3 of each of our books should be here by the end, probably first
I
part of
don't
next
know
week.
if any of you've ever made the 3-yard quilts. I personally haven't. I've made 5-yard quilts, which is kind of weird that there's 3-yard quilts, and I made a 5-yard quilt. But if you look on the back of these books, you can see that in each book there's several different patterns to choose
And
from.
they're quick and easy for the most part. They come out really cool, and Brenda makes them all the time for us. And,
Yeah.
they come out really nice. It's quick and easy. And with the 3 1-yard cuts we got bundled up,
You don't have to pick your fabric. It's
Yep.
ready to go.
Yep.
So the books themselves are $15.95 a piece, but you can see there's 8 different patterns in each of these 2, and you said you have more coming.
yeah, she's got I think 6 total, 6
I
or
think
8.
so.
Yeah.
I just think that's really cool. And we're going to offer them up a special.
Yeah, see, Becky came in and said, we're doing a show special. I had no say in this. She just said, this is what we're doing. And I'm like,
Bring these things up. If you come in and say, hey, I want, what's today's date?
today is the 26th. So how long is this going to go?
The show 26 special. The May 26th show,
Show
special.
special. And they have to say it just like that. The May 26th
It's a
show special. And if you
So
don't get it
write
right,
it
it's like
down.
Jeopardy and you lose.
It's from now till next show.
Okay, till next show.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'll try and talk him into something every week. How's that
There was no
sound?
talking into this. I was just told. So
Okay,
I
I'll
just-
just tell him
that's
something
just
new
how it
every
works.
week.
Okay.
Because who doesn't love a show special?
Let's show specials are fantastic.
These are selling for $29.95.
Yes.
You come in and you say, I want that special I saw Becky talking about on May 26th.
Just changed it.
We're going to give it to you for $19.95.
Wow.
Yes.
$19.95.
Yes.
3 yards.
It's for $19.95.
$19.95.
That's a bargain.
It has to be one of the pre-made ones.
Yes.
You can't be making us make up new ones.
Yeah, that
not
defeats
the
the whole
That's
idea.
not the show special.
And if you're
Okay.
watching from like Ohio and you're like, I want the show special,
Yeah,
call.
because it's not online.
Well, the problem is putting these. What we'll
Okay.
run into, I'm going to get into some little
May
shop.
26th. It's a May 26th
The
show
problem-
special.
The problem with putting these online is they're going to show up online as a 3-yard bundle, but we're not
Yeah.
going to have pictures of the different bundles.
Yeah.
So if you do call and you want one, just let me know if you want the purple one.
Well, there's
The
a couple
green
more
one
to
or the
choose
blue
from
one.
too.
Yeah.
Say if they're
So that's one of the
popular.
problems.
And if it goes well, I think we'll keep them cutting.
Oh yeah, we'll keep them going.
Keep them cutting. So again, the book is books are $15.95 a piece.
Yeah.
8 different patterns in each book. Come get your show special bundle is $19.95.
99.5.
But wait, there's more.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No, actually, there's
Oh,
not.
I was
Becky,
thinking-
there
I
is
was-
more.
Oh, there's more.
In the book, there's directions for doing twin size, queen and king.
Oh, Brenda, I love you, but wait, there is more within the book.
I'm waiting for the ShamWow to come out.
Say you want, I forgot that, that's fantastic. Say you want to make a bigger quilt than these 3 yards make. You
Mhm.
want to add on to it. In the book, it gives you the extra fabric requirements for
Eddie.
enlarging your quilt. So how cool is that? So it's not just 8 little patterns, because on each and every one of them, right? It
yeah.
gives you the enlargement instructions. So how
Nice.
cool is that? How beautiful are these? Wow. I might have to buy a book.
Lisa Huckins made one from the bundles that we had in March.
Yeah.
Wow. So pretty. So there is more there. How about that?
Yeah, see?
Okay.
All right.
All right. So that's it for show and tell.
I guess,
Something
yeah.
to
Show
say
and
for
tell.
later.
Shop
Something
news,
we
I don't
forgot.
know.
Okay. So yeah. Well,
we just make this up as
no,
we
it's
go along.
both. It's both shop,
Shop news and show and tell. So that's not a combined thing?
No, it's not.
Oh, we're going to keep it separate.
We just show and tell, and then we show.
Okay, see that? I'm just trying to
But
keep
now I think it's time for a quiz.
it. Ooh, quiz time.
Quiz time!
Quiz time!
Now,
I love the new I love Eddie's graphics. They're the
quiz
best.
time! I wish it would go pew, pew, pew.
Maybe it does at home.
Oh,
Does it go pew pew pew? at all?
pew!
No,
Like
Oh, we're
firecrackers
gonna add
going
that?
off.
We're gonna add
Firecrackers
pew
going
pew
off.
pew.
This quiz, okay, a little different, well, a little, but a little the same. It's one question and one question only. Because
Yes.
I don't know what to do in between the questions when I don't
We
like
well,
an
did we
idiot.
add like some don't have sounds now, Eddie, for in between questions? But you can't remember which
Well,
one it is.
I only made up one question.
That's fine.
Okay, but it's
I'm just
it's
saying.
one that's gonna take a little
A little thinking.
little
Is it
typing.
an essay?
It's not a one-word
It's an
answer.
essay question.
No, but it's more than one word. No, it's not an essay. Here we go. It's based on last week's show, because you never know what I'm gonna base it on, okay? It's based on last week's show.
Well,
During the show, I can do what I want.
okay, that's fine. That's true.
Last week's show, Brent showed me how to do something that was new to me regarding pinning. What was
I
it?
know.
What was it? First one to get the answer right wins a $10 GC. That's half the price of a fabric bundle. The show special.
I know what I was thinking we should do. We should invent our own cryptocurrency.
No.
Well, everybody's doing it. We can have like our own.
So Brent showed me a tip. It was a great tip because I hadn't seen it before, and I actually comes in handy tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
One question,
one
yes.
question. What was the tip he showed me last week regarding pinning?
Yes.
Do, 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 do. Here we go. Perpendicular! Lisa!
Oh, it
Woo-hoo!
looked, from here it looked like she spelled perpendicular with a U, and I was like, that's awesome. But she
No,
didn't.
the perpendicular pinning. I was
Yes.
looking for the word perpendicular in particular.
In
So
particular,
congratulations to Lisa!
Lisa,
Nicely done.
Close enough.
And yeah, yeah. Good
Woo!
job. All right, so good. Now let's do turbo tip.
Turbo tip.
Now again, this is not a big deal turbo tip, but it was one of those that I said,
Oh.
what?
Oh, you guys don't get the graphics out there, do
And
you?
went, woo, turbo, go, I like it. Hey, no kidding, my son.
I left them unsupervised for a couple hours this morning.
My son is in California and he went to Palm Springs for a miniature vacation and he did this rent of a race car where they raced around in the desert on these, first time the driver takes him out, a professional driver. It's in video. It's like, whoa. Then he gets to do 3 laps on his own. Of course, he went off the track. I'm like, oh my God, where does this kid come from? I would no sooner go race car driving in the middle of the desert.
Why not?
Ugh. Anyway, so, turbo tip. So, this is a turbo tip that I don't even
But what
know
was he
where
driving?
I
What kind
got
of car did he drive?
it was like a $300,000 ramped up BMW.
Oh, he didn't get like something like a Bugatti or anything? He went like a.
I don't know race cars. All I know is
I'm
they're
not talking race car. I'm
dangerous.
talking like supercars.
And I can't believe he went out on one. Oh my Lord.
I was watching this thing about renting supercars.
Then he went horseback riding. I'm like, what the
Do
heck?
you realize what it costs for insurance if you're gonna run a supercar rental place? Like if you're like renting Ferraris and
Well, that's what I was
Lamborghinis
thinking.
and.
That must be in law
Okay.
insurance. So can we
Interesting.
check
Okay,
vendors'
I'm
laws?
just gonna give you an interesting little tidbit. Okay, I was watching.
Okay, then I'm doing
Because
church.
we all know like the Lamborghini Countach or like Magnum PI's Ferrari back in the day, right?
No.
Check the. You all know what I'm talking about. These like really fancy cars from like the mid '80s. Okay.
No.
Did you know that I think it's a Honda Sienna is faster than a Lamborghini off the
The
line?
minivans?
Yep, 0 to 60. The newer, like
That's
the
because
newer.
when mothers are like,
Zero,
yeah.
0 to 60 times on like
Get me outta
the
here.
new cars are just unbelievable compared to like these supercars of like decades ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Okay. So now
Going
back to
crazy in the
quilting.
back seat.
like your Honda Passport could probably beat a Ferrari off the line.
We'll
Okay.
never know.
Now, again, this is probably a turbo tip you guys already know, but I didn't even think of it.
Okay.
But I think it's genius. You know how I'm always talking about getting my washi tape and marking things so I don't forget what I'm
I could think
doing?
of- yeah, okay.
Is this showing right? These little guys here,
Crayola marker?
The
Is it-
washable
Yeah, the ones that
markers.
you give to your kids
Yeah.
when they want to write on everything.
Yeah, the washable markers.
That Eddie would know nothing about because as a child he wrote all over himself.
Well, I want to remember to always line up here.
Yeah. Well, you're off the can. You got to put it over there more.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Eddie. I told you I'd be better. I put this here and everything, and they didn't. I'm gonna mark. Or the center of the thing I'm gonna line up is right here. This is my center. You can mark on your rulers with these little buggers.
How would would a dry erase work as well?
A dry erase would work as well.
Now is that? But do you want on these here? You want to make sure that you're on the
The side
Upper
facing
side,
you.
right.
yeah, which would be that
Oh,
side.
it's, okay. So watch what happens when you mark on the wrong side.
Well, I would
Just wipe it away.
Well, I would be concerned that with some stuff that it might not wipe right off on some of the stuff they put on the grippiness.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying,
These wipe, but
Like
that.
the eraser one.
yeah.
Well, I didn't try the eraser one, but,
Yeah.
so, yeah, you could go, Becky, don't forget, this is the center you're looking for. Becky, don't forget, this is the lines that you're looking at. You could draw, you can draw on your
look, you can
rulers.
write things.
You can. Now,
This is not rated R, right?
Like, hi, mom.
yeah, well, you
Yeah.
can do that. That's not gonna help me with sewing though. But go ahead and make your marks on your rulers.
Yeah, and then you can just wipe it off.
And then
That's a genius idea. I never
and
thought of that.
I didn't either, and I'm
How
like,
is that? That's like one of those things that why didn't I think
that's
of
what
that? It's like
and then
it's
you just
so.
go, okay, that's all done, and you wash it off and you're ready to go again.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
That's
That's a good-
fantastic.
Does anybody seen this before?
No.
How-
Yay!
how
I don't know
did
how.
that- how is that- that's like so-
How is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like so simple. Like, why hasn't this been thought of?
I know. So there you go. Go get your kids washable markers. You can actually use, if you have the water soluble fabric pens,
Yeah.
you can even use those, but you don't get the pretty colors. Like you can mark, and I can always measure wrong, or I get my ruler backwards halfway through. Now I can say top, right?
Yes.
I always get mixed up on my ruler, and I'm like, okay, there we go, and then just goodbye, just like that. It's all done. And if it should get on your fabric, it's not going to harm your fabric either,
Okay.
because it's
So we don't want to use
totally
we don't want to use a
washable
Sharpie
marker.
for this. That is what you're telling
You
me.
don't want to use a Sharpie, and I don't know if the dry erase would harm your fabric or not. I know it will come off of here.
Do they still make those ginormous, fat, black markers with the weird octagonal end and the red barrel? You know, it's like I think the name of it was a permanent marker.
Yeah, they do.
Do they make those still?
Permanent.
I haven't seen one of those for ages, and I was just thinking of that. Think of Sharpies
They do.
because I remember
But-
like they were like giant.
I don't know. See, now I've got to make it nice and tidy again. Okay, so that was my tip. I thought.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
I
tip.
thought
I
it was
like it.
pretty
That's
ingenious.
a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so now other things from down the rabbit hole that happened out there this week in Sewing Land. Updates that I have seen in Sewing Land. First one is, and at first
I
I
love
went,
your nails.
I know they're for the party.
Oh,
There's a party tomorrow.
oh, party.
Yeah.
Nice.
Disco nails.
Disco nails. Is it gonna be like one of those sparkly, twirly disco balls?
I'll bring one. I got
Okay.
disco lights.
Okay.
I got disco lights. I put it on my
Oh,
backpack
we could mount one right here. It would be awesome. We'll have the studio with a little glitter ball in
for
here.
dancing in the moonlight.
They're raving.
Yeah. So where was I going with this? Oh,
I have no idea. I just
that was
totally
something. I
sidetracked
got to
that.
look at my notes real quick. So, this is why I have notes. First I was a little disappointed. And then I was like, learn more about it. Now I'm not disappointed. And that was the Cricut coming out with 2 new machines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I saw
no.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
They came out with Cricut Explorer 3 and Cricut Maker 3.
Yeah.
Now,
Is it bigger?
there's been no
No.
2, so they went from 1 to 3, so they don't know how to count. Just saying. But anyway, I said, what is different between the Cricut Maker I own 10 of?
Yeah.
Not really, I don't own 10, but I do own more than one. And this new Cricut Maker 3, because I'm going to be a little upset. Well, the difference does not upset me because it has nothing to do with the fabric, and that's what I do mostly with my makeup. The
But did they-
perk was that they make this new smart material, which has a heavier backing on it. So you can roll it through and it replaces the use of a mat because it's a thicker backing. It's like the backing of the vinyl in the mat in one. But you have to go buy their smart vinyl in order to do it without a mat. You can't buy other people's vinyl.
Okay.
So I was a little dismayed. The perk on that though is if you wanted to do 30 feet of something all in one long side.
Oh, because you don't have.
'Cause you don't have
You're
a
not
mat.
limited by the mat size. That makes sense.
But I also say to you, how the heck are you gonna stick 30 feet of vinyl on straight anywhere unless you break it up into smaller chunks? So,
Yeah, but then there wouldn't be seams. So when I put
no,
love,
if you cut it,
hope, love, live, or whatever that.
Right, there's no
I
seams
better
in
stop
those
because I'm sure
letters.
that people watching have
There's
those in their house.
yeah, there's no seams in
Yeah,
those.
you have one in your house, don't you?
The-
Live, laugh, love. Like you need a sign to tell you that.
The other thing it does is it cuts faster, like 3 times faster. But not on the fabric, so we
Okay.
still love our Cricut makers.
Cricket, yes.
We still love our Cricut makers. No need to upgrade, peeps, if you're using yours for fabric and you don't want to buy smart materials. If you haven't bought one, you will be buying the Cricut Maker 3, and hey, that's just a perk. You can use it with or without mats.
So did
smart
you find out
material,
what happened to the
non-smart
Cricut 2?
material. There is no Cricut 2. I think they wanted to go
I-
from Explorer 1 to Explorer 2 to Explorer 3, so they thought, hey, let's make a Cricut Maker 3, because they both cut matless if you use the smart products.
Oh, so there's an Explorer 2,
There was an Explorer.
but there's not a Maker 2.
No.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So that
So we don't
came
need to
out.
call it. We don't need to call it Scooby Doo and the Gang to solve this mystery for
No,
us. Okay.
no, and I'm
Just
telling
making
you,
sure.
you're all safe with your Cricut makers, and
That's
Becky
good.
still loves them. The other
It's
thing
Becky approved.
it is, it is. The other cool thing that came out was, I'm gonna switch to my computer, Eddie, if you don't mind. I hope I'm gonna switch. Yes, I am, yay.
Yay.
Is Kimberbell announced their new Bella box.
We got some Kimberbell coming in. I just got a.
The Kimberbell Bella box goes on sale January 2nd. They
June.
buy June 2nd. Thank you. Jeez. They sell it online. You have to buy it online.
I know. I'm just saying that we have some Kimberbell, some new stuff coming in. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
I-
just throwing that out there.
Okay.
I saw an email that says your shipment has shipped from Kimberbell. I have
Oh,
no
we
idea
don't know
what
what
it is.
it is yet. Well,
So-
the Bella box will be up for sale June 2nd for those that like it. Here's what I like about it.
You get a tape dispenser?
You get a tape. Oh, Eddie, computer, please. You get a Kimberbell tape dispenser.
Oh, isn't that cute?
And the
Oh
only way to get the
gosh.
Kimberbell tape dispenser, they say, right now,
Right
is
now.
in the
Right now.
Bella box.
Yeah, it'll be available in like 6 months. There's no way they went through the trouble to have that made and not going to sell it later.
Oh, I don't know.
They'll probably just change the color.
The other thing they've done differently, which with this Bella box,
Unless they're 3D printing them themselves.
oh, you never know, is not only did they release 6 different new designs, which that's not new. They do that with the Bella box. You get them in project form. So you're going to get the instructions to make each of these projects. Not only do you get the design, but you get the instructions for the project. And you
Okay.
get them as soon as you sign up for the box. You don't have to wait months later. So they've changed a few things. So you get 6 new designs with the projects and that really cool tape dispenser. And I have no idea how much the box is.
You just want the tape dispenser.
$99.
You just want the tape dispenser.
Yeah. I just, well, I think it's a cute tape dispenser, but I don't know what else is in it because it's a surprise. We don't get to see them until we all get them, kind of thing. It's always a surprise.
Yeah, and then if you like open them and spoil it for other people, everybody gets mad.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do
Yeah,
that.
it's-
You're supposed to wait the right amount
People are
of time.
crazy.
Okay.
People are nuts.
One other thing I ran across this week that I said, oh, I gotta tell my peeps about this because it's free, and I thought they were cute, cute, cute. I don't know, yes, thank you. Computer again, where did you go, Becky? Way down here. I'm not very good at my windows, excuse me. There's a website called Creative Kiwi. I don't know how many of you have ever gone on there. They're not based in the United States.
I'm guessing what, New Zealand or Australia?
New Zealand. They're from New Zealand, but and they've got some cute stuff on there, but one of the things that she just released, well, there's a lot of them, but one that tickled my fancy, and it's free, and they have lots of things that are free. If you go under free on their website right here,
Where it says free?
where it says free,
Free, gratis for
Free.
those listening in Spanish.
everything on
Gratis.
here. Look at this is a free mug rug. These are all
June
embroidery
fit to be-
designs.
Oh,
Fit to be worn.
the
The
fill in the
new
blank.
The
Yeah,
new
that's
one that I really thought was, oh, he's a funny little dude. Where's the new one, Becky? I thought I had it at the top, and now I'm searching. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling, but you can admire all these free goodies. Oh, I thought I had it ready to go.
See, I used to look at all these things and think to myself, who does this?
What do you mean, who does it?
And then I went over. I had to help Danny with her machine once, and I made a house call to take care of her
Oh my
machine.
gosh, I can't find it.
And I
now.
went into her kitchen, and she does it. She had the towels. She had the matching little curtains that match the towels and the pot holders. And I was like, "That's fantastic! I'm glad somebody did it."
I was new, and why not practice?
It looked great. It did. I just
So I could learn my machine.
Here it is. I was clicking on people's projects because they highlight if you send in pictures of your project that you
Okay.
do with the freebies. Look at these little free sewing gnomes.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Free sewing.
See them? Free sewing gnomes. I just thought these were cute. They're all little gnomies. See? Sewing. And they're you can get them in all the different formats. They're designed for 4x4 hoops, so they come in small size. But aren't they the cutest little bugaboos?
They are.
don't
I
know.
like this one playing with a thread spool, like woohoo, woo.
It looks like a beard with eyes, though.
Well, that's what gnomes are.
No, they're not.
Yes,
They have that little hat and like the.
I thought they were cute.
That
They
they
have
are.
beards.
I'm not saying
Like I
they're
can
not.
see one on my shirt.
Okay. I'm just saying it looks like
Sewing gnome.
the cousin It there from the Addams Family.
Okay, well that's it. Oh, what's this?
Okay, Eddie, go to this
Yeah.
camera here.
Oh, we forgot about this.
Yeah, see,
We're not
see,
good.
look at that.
Oh,
That is
okay.
June's fill in the blank right there.
Wow, that's cute. Now,
Wow, we're all over the map today. This is
but
like
that's
the
okay.
ADD
I
edition.
have to tell you, their onesies, even if you're not going to put something as cute as small fry on it, although I love that snappy, snazzy saying one. What's that little CD?
I don't know.
Sometimes my mother comes out of my mouth.
My mother comes.
Yeah, I like that.
What's that even mean?
Something like that. I forget what it says, but it's all
Sometimes
snarky.
my mother comes out of my mouth.
Something like that. It's a snarky saying. It's a snarky saying. So this is a cute little
Is that what you say to your
design.
mom after you swear to her? That was you, Ma!
So if you come in and you buy one Kimberbell onesie, which
They
I,
come in packs of 2.
and they are very high quality.
Yeah, they're right
Yeah,
around
I
20.
you can't tell, but if you haven't felt them, you can't tell through the camera, but they're nice and
Oh yeah, they're
they're
nice.
not flimsy at all.
Yeah, they're
And
the
they
good ones.
come with the seams are finished, but not closed. So it's easy to hoop.
Yes.
So you embroider it before the seams are closed down. One seam is closed.
One seam is closed.
One seam is closed. So I'm going to turn this inside out for a minute. So one seam is closed like this. The other seam is serged finish, but left open. So that it becomes very easy to embroider it. And then all you have to do is straight stitch it closed.
Run a seam up. No, nice.
Yeah. And they're really high quality. Really cute. This is size 9 to 12 months, it
Yeah,
says.
I think you get there's 2 of them. They come 2 to a pack, and I want to say they're like around $20.
And they're gray, blue, and pink.
Yes.
Is there a green one?
No.
Gray, blue, and
So.
pink.
Blush.
Gray and yeah.
I wish they came in my size, because I would like sleep in one of these. I would like this.
I think that's an unexplored market right there. Onesies.
Oh, it might be. But they have to be cotton onesies. Oh, it snaps.
See, did I ever tell my
That is an unexplored market, right there.
did I tell you my $1 million idea? Remember underoos when you were like a kid? You had, like
Yes.
Batman on your
I bet
underwear.
you needed to have those. to
Okay,
match
but
your
but
clothes
check
with
this
that.
out. The $1 million idea.
Okay.
Instead of putting superheroes on your underoos, do like swimsuit edition Sports Illustrated, so you can have like swimwear models on your underwear, and you sell it to all the frat boys. Millions of dollars right there. Somebody take that and run with it. You will be rich. And just cut me in. So I asked, just give me a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
if it was that great an idea, why didn't you?
Because nobody's thought of it yet. Kind of like my bobblehead scooter. Apparently I'm the first person to think about it.
All right. Now we gotta teach him something
Yes.
besides,
Oh, just as a note on the
yeah.
fill in the blank.
yes.
Onesies are available, we'll sell them to you, but you can't get the free pattern until June. That's the rules that they tell us
Well,
that
that's
you don't.
almost here.
That's next
And
week.
how much
I
is
know.
the package of onesies?
Like I said, around $20. $18.95 or something like that.
I'm looking.
So the pattern
You don't even know.
the pattern is free with the
These-
onesies in the month of June. Or after June 1st.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, which is next
But there
week.
is a CD, I wish I had thought to.
Yeah, there is a
There's
CD
a CD
that goes
with
with it, yes.
awful cute sayings for onesies
Yes.
That's called
too.
Sweet and Snarky.
See, I knew there was a
Sweet
snarky
and
in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Sweet and snarky, and it's got the cutest little sayings for onesies. And now that it's getting warmer, let's face it, throwing a onesie on, yes,
$21.95 and it comes with two
Okay.
and a design.
2 for $21.95.
Yep.
And in June, you will get a free design as well,
Yes.
which is pretty cute. And that's done with vinyl, glitter, and embroidery leather.
Yeah, and here,
So it's embroidered applique. Oh, you did bring something.
it has a bit
Those
of
are
the
so
color, yeah.
cute.
So this is actually the package, and then see here it is here. But what
So
you
you get a
get,
polka dot and
you get a
stripe.
stripe and a dot with it. So it's very exciting.
And you have several different sizes, I'm assuming.
Yes, we have lots of sizes.
Okay, good.
And they're pink and
That's
gray.
very good. All right.
Wow,
we have to teach him
we've just
something.
been rambling on today.
No, well, we got to teach him something
Yes,
now.
we do.
Okay. Well, I
Are you
want
gonna mark this, Eddie, so when you cut this out, you can cut out all the filler and just stick to what we're teaching?
We're not going to get very far tonight, but that's okay. It's about borders.
Borders.
Borders. Yeah.
Are you sure you're gonna talk about the new immigration policies?
Yeah. This is a perfect, Eddie, can you get a shot of this? The border, so everyone knows, that's these things you put on the edge of the quilt. This one looks like it has 3 borders, Brenda?
3, yes.
Yes.
Yep, she did the one that sort of blends in, and then 2, 3, they all look to be about an inch,
Inch and a half.
1.5 inches, okay? And then she went with her binding. Now, you don't have to put a border on your quilt, Brent. She could have ended it right here, if
Yes.
she chose to do so.
Yes.
She could have put a binding
In fact,
on it right here
I
and
think
be done with it.
Was this, did you wanna use this to show what, without borders?
No.
No, that's a
but
different
show
thing,
that for
okay.
something else. But it doesn't, a quilt does not have to have a border on it. But we tend to put borders on it for a couple of reasons. Do you know why we put borders on our quilts?
I put them on because I like the frame, I like to frame
You
my
like to
quilt.
Frame
It like
it.
framed, I like to frame it so it looks nice.
Like you know what the
But
frame
it also
does?
keeps the thing from stretching and going crazy.
Yeah, the frame does 2 things. One, it helps bring out, it'll either help brighten up a quilt or to help
Tone it down.
tone it
Yeah.
down. It actually changes how your eye looks at the interior of this quilt. For example, if Brenda had just stuck, I'm sorry, I'll
No,
go
I get
this
it,
way.
you're right.
If she had just stuck with this binding here, border, you probably wouldn't even notice that there was a border here at all, because it very closely melts in, which is fine, and she could have put a binding there. But then she said, oh, I want to highlight some of the reds, because it's a red, white, and blue quilt. Actually, it's probably why you did that, right? Red, white, and blue. Ah, I just got it.
You're on top of your game,
I
Becky.
am.
I know, it's because the pattern said to.
Well, that could be too. That could be too. But it does create a frame, and it also highlights the rest of the quilt.
And at least it makes a good point. It adds size. If you remember the
Well,
old,
that was
the old Thimbleberries quilts where you have like a 12-inch
Lisa is
square in the middle,
absolutely right.
and then you have like
47 borders?
47 borders to bring that 12-inch square out to a king-size quilt.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The other reason we use borders is to increase the size of a quilt. Some quilts will have a series of, like you say, 6 borders. Some quilts will have none. But it's all about getting it up to the size you need it in the end. The other thing
A
is,
quick note on size while we're talking about this, because I had a
Okay.
call about this 3 times on Saturday,
okay,
and I love Gail. I'm not, but Gail asked me, so I think this is important. That everybody understands
Their
this.
name.
Yeah.
She doesn't mind. Gail's a sweetheart. There is no standard size for a quilt.
No.
There is no such thing as a king size quilt, and we can look at a book and know how
You
big
can-
a king size quilt is.
You can guesstimate,
You can
but
guess-
if you have a specific bed in mind, you're best
To make it to
measuring
the
the bed.
There is
We
standard.
should show them how to measure
Yes,
that.
there's a standard size for mattresses,
Yes.
and that if you're looking to base your quilt, base it on mattress sizes. And there is some kind of standardization a little bit on batting sizes, a little bit, but not really. And the mattress size, I should go get my book that I just brought
The
in.
problem is, and this is off topic, but not actually, because that's why we increase borders. If you have a bed, some beds are lower to the floor,
Danny's got
some
it.
beds are higher than the floor. Some people have bed skirts, some people don't have bed skirts. So your best thing to do, if you have a bed that you're making a specific quilt for, like my Sarah Velder quilt,
I
you
thought
need
you
to
were, you've been
measure.
working on that for years.
I know, Brent, I know. You need to measure, and also, do you wanna tuck your pillows in, or are your pillows gonna be outside of your quilt?
And
How
it-
much of the quilt is going to show?
And here is a.
That's another show? Okay,
I
that's
know.
another show.
I just wanted to show this. This is a little book that we got.
I was gonna show you how to measure for a quilt,
Yeah.
'cause it's really in.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that so many options.
But this book here is it's
Okay, it's another show. The producer said that's another show, Becky.
This is just a quick reference guide that we have.
We gotta talk borders.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give people an idea when I talk about sizes. So when you talk about a size, go back to the camera because nobody cares about me reading. Yeah, cool. Anyway, a twin mattress is 39 inches by 75 inches. Think of how small that is for a.
To show him, this is the book he's
Yes.
reading from, right here. The Quilter's Pocket Reference. We have them for sale at the shop for $8.95.
Yes.
So it has everything you can imagine
But
in
yes.
here.
So I'm just saying, when you talk about quilt sizes, there's no standard size. So don't call me up and say, make me a king size quilt. I don't know how big that is.
Come in and buy one of these, and it will give you a reference.
And if you say, make me a
And
twin
later-
size quilt,
And
I don't know how
later
big
on,
that
we'll
is.
show you how to measure a
Yes.
specific bed.
Yes.
Because
a quilt,
if you're putting a lot of work into a quilt, you want it to fall just right on the bed.
yeah, see, I don't even make my quilts for beds.
Yeah, I know.
60 by 80, that's
I
my
know,
quilt.
you make them for the dogs. You tell
That's
me.
for, it's for
Okay,
me,
let's
yeah.
go back to
Well,
borders.
yeah, if you make them
before
for the
we run
dogs,
out
you
of
don't
time
you don't
here.
need straight seams.
The other,
There's
so there are
you.
3 reasons. One was to frame the artwork.
Yes.
Secondly, was to increase the size of the quilt.
Yeah.
And thirdly, was to get the wonkiness out of the quilt.
This sounds like these are quiz questions for next week.
When I say wonkiness, the larger a quilt gets, a quilt top minus the borders, the larger it gets, the more likelihood it is that it is not going to measure exactly the same throughout the entire quilt. It just isn't. There's too
Unless
many.
you're Becky.
And
There's too many. No, even Becky.
the more triangles you put into it,
It's
increases
just
the likelihood.
there's more seam allowances. It's fabric. It's not.
And if you make, what's her
Cement.
faces? Is it Bonnie Hunter? Is that the one that makes the really intricate triangle ones that everybody thinks are awesome?
Yeah, no, it isn't Bonnie.
Is what's her, you know the one I'm talking about?
Judy Martin.
Maybe it's her too. But they make
Oh.
people go take classes and like, oh, I made this quilt, and then I get
No,
in here
it's
and it's wonky and the borders are all over the place.
Well,
And they're gorgeous quilts, by the way, but the borders are just out of control.
okay, and a lot of people say, yay, my quilt top's done, all I gotta do is add my borders.
Mm-hmm.
And they think, ooh, easy breezy. And they'll say 5.5 inch border, and they'll cut a 5.5 strip, and they'll line it up at the top, and they'll sew it down. And
I don't even line it up at the top.
And then they cut it off, and then they turn their quilt, and they sew it
I
again,
do.
and then they cut it
Yep.
off, and they sew it again, and they
You are
cut it off.
describing my borders to a T.
That's how I do it.
Every time you add a border, you are increasing the wonkiness that you started with.
Mm-hmm.
The wonkiness gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You do not want to just sew
Sew.
and cut.
So, yes.
No, you do not
You
sew
don't want
and cut.
to, but I do.
Well, you don't. And here's what happens. Can we do a top down on this? Oh, wait, let me get over here. Here's what happens when it comes to the quilt shop. Pretend this is a quilt. And I've made this wonky on purpose, okay?
Oh, good. This
Can you
was
see
something
that
I
it's
thought.
wonky? I put it on here so you can see it's
Can you get rid
wonky.
of the design board because it's distracting from the quilt?
Certainly, I was using it to show the unstraightness, but, okay, is that better?
Oh, looks pretty good to me.
No. And here's what happens when it gets to the,
Brian sewed.
here's what happens when, this is what you get when you strip quilt long strips and don't pay attention to your seams. This was what you will get.
So
And
so
it's
it's something
not
I would
uncommon.
it's something I would have sewn
You
then.
definitely would, and a lot of other people would have too. And then they'll bring it in here and they'll expect you to quilt it.
Yeah.
And the first thing Brent has to do is get it straight on the frame. So to get this straight on the frame, he's gotta get rid of this wonkiness over here, which is causing it to get pleats, or they call it easing in the quilting, right?
From a quilting standpoint, one of the problems you run into is as you roll the quilt up, if you have a wonky quilt,
Uh-huh.
you have we have a tendency to kind of pull that out as we're rolling it, so all of your wonkiness is going to end up on the bottom. So like
That's
you-
the other thing that
Like
happens.
your like bottom right corner looks like
It's out here.
yeah.
What would happen in a situation like this is it would be very hard to control the fullness in the middle of this quilt, because as he's rolling it and trying to keep this edge straight, guess where all that stuff is going? To the interior of the quilt. If you don't try to keep it straight, which it sounds like you don't, everything ends up over here. Because you're just pushing it to wherever it will go. One way to fix this, so your long armor can do an even better job for you, is to make sure that you don't have this kind of wonkiness before you come in. And borders can actually help you do that.
Contain the mess.
They do. Like if I just hack this off, my eyes are going to be able to tell I just hacked it off.
Mhm.
And again, a quilt this small is not usually this. I'm trying to exaggerate what happens as you get bigger and bigger. This is not unusual for a quilt this size to be out of whack that big.
Yeah.
It is not. So what you want to do is take your quilt and you want to take some measurements before you cut your borders. Before, not after.
Now,
Before.
when you get it, she's slamming the table right now.
Because that means I'm
She is
serious.
serious about this.
I am serious.
This is like quilt police level infractions right here,
It
not
is.
measuring.
You should have in your repertoire
Repertoire.
a 120 foot.
Repertoire.
What
Is that,
happened to the 120 foot one? You can't. I mean, 126
It's the
inches.
yellow one.
Yeah, what happened to it?
I don't know.
Oh, you were whipping him with it
I wasn't-
earlier.
I put it in my show drawer.
The show drawer.
Show drawer. Brett's gonna make sure he gets some retractable ones of these, because I went to go get one for tonight's show and there weren't any.
Yes, we
And I
have.
said,
They're on
what
the
kind
way.
of quilt shop doesn't
They're on their way.
have a measuring tape that goes 120 inches? And I said, oh, the kind that puts their borders on in big strips and cuts them off in the end.
And
Yeah,
guilty as charged.
yeah,
It's a good thing I run the long arm machine and not you.
yeah. So there are three exact measurements.
You gotta move it a little bit more that way.
Oh, see, I got this in my, sorry, thank you.
That's all right.
3 measurements you should take before you cut your first border. One is in the middle of the quilt. You're going to measure the width in your middle of the quilt. So it's like 14 1/8 on this one.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to measure all the way at the bottom. That's a no-no. Or all the way at the top. That's a no-no. Usually those are your biggest measurements. I should have wonked it the other way, but I didn't. Normally you want to come up, say if you have 6-inch blocks, I want you to come up about 6 inches, 4 inches fine. But look, on this quilt, I would have come up around here for my bottom measurement. I don't know if that's showing
Yeah.
up here. And I would have done the same thing at the top, and then I would have done the same thing in the middle, before any borders get on it.
Yeah,
I
because
would
you're
have
gonna
taken
all your
measurement
stretch
here.
is gonna be at that first couple inches on your corners.
See, this is 13 7/8.
Yeah.
So that's a 1/4 inch off from the middle. And at the top here, it's about 13 7/8.
Don't you measure it top to bottom?
Well, I will, but
Okay, well, I do the top and bottom first because I always put my sides on, my side borders on first.
my quilt's just oriented differently. I put side borders on first too. This
Okay.
is my top, this is my bottom.
Oh. Okay.
No, I measured the wrong thing.
And just,
I do always put the sides on first.
and just for your information.
Yes.
I did measure those borders.
I'm sure you
Each
did.
one.
Did you measure after each border?
No,
Okay, well, you can get away with it on a small border. Once your borders
Right.
get wider, you really should measure after each border is put on your quilt.
I just cut them according to the size they told me.
Oh my Lord. Okay, so now I've measured, okay, and mine don't all match. But they're within a half an inch, right?
Yeah.
They're within half an inch. So I consider that great. If you measure up on a large quilt and you're within a half an inch, don't be discouraged. That's actually very good. That's
So
good.
we have 3 numbers. Which one do you use now?
You now average those 3 numbers.
We have to do math?
You do. You add them up, you divide by 3, and that's the length I want you to cut your strip.
No, isn't the
So the calls
average...
for 5.5 inch strip, that doesn't change, but the length of your strip, and Brenda's right.
Isn't the
Mine's-
average different than the mean?
Yes, it is different than mean.
So what if we wanna
Average
go
is you add 3.
and
If
divide by
I'm
3,
adding
yeah,
3
so-
numbers, I add 3 numbers and divide by 3.
So how'd you get the
That-
mean then?
I don't need the mean.
I know, but I want to know how to get it.
The mean you would put, why? You
I
can't,
don't know.
the mean on this one, I don't know, because there's 2 numbers that are exactly alike, so the mean's the middle point.
Okay, I'm just
You
curious.
you
I
know
thought that was a
math.
median.
Oh, for goodness sakes, I quit. I'm here to tell you how to measure for borders.
Average. Get the average.
Okay, yeah, get the average. And then after you put those on, and you should do your sides first. You should.
Yes.
Also, another tip when you're cutting your material, and this, we don't always do this because, material's expensive, but if you can cut straight to grain, that's gonna give you straighter borders. That means this is my salvage, and if I can cut this way on my fabric,
I'm gonna switch.
sorry, if I can cut this way on my straight to grain, here's my salvage. If I can cut this way, I'm going to get much more stable borders. Just because of the way fabric is made. It stretches less this way than it does this way.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of times we can't justify cutting a border this long, having 6 yards of something. So what we do instead is we cut it perpendicular to straight of grain, which is up and down like this. But
Okay.
if you're piecing your border, which I'm a fan of piece borders,
Just because my mom is watching and she
Yes.
wanted to set us straight.
yes.
The mean and the average are the same thing. The median is the other one.
Thank you, Becky.
Sorry.
Is there anything else you need to correct?
That's the teacher.
Well, the average I got right, and
Yeah.
that's all I care about in quilting. Jeepers creepers. Okay, so straight of grain when you can. If you're piecing a border, which I like piece borders, straight of grain can give you real stable fabric, and you could, she could have done red, white, blue, 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 in little chunks and pieced it together too.
So if you're doing, oh, never mind.
Yeah, piece borders is a whole nother,
So
Topic.
when you put your borders together at a 45, because it looks better than a straight seam.
you mean when you're like,
Maybe we're putting 2 pieces together.
yes,
Should we worry about the stretch that's created by that 45-degree cut?
no.
Okay.
No, especially on hers, they're smaller, but
Oh,
no.
yeah.
And the reason we do the 45 degree is it's less noticeable.
Yeah.
Like I can see them because I'm looking for them,
Yeah.
but you cannot just see
Yeah,
them
so when
on
you're
this
yeah.
particular
A lot of
quilt.
times when you
They
piece-
hide better in the quilt if you do
45,
it on
yeah.
a 45. So that's just that.
Okay.
So then the next trick is when you go to pin, and this is where I said your pinning is not so. I'm just going to do an example here real quick. Remember your perpendicular pinning thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now pretend I've measured this. It's exactly what I needed, right?
Yeah, you're not doing it like I would, just slap it on there and go.
Well, no.
You're gonna
This is
measure.
cut. This is exactly the right measurement I needed. Okay, it's not exactly fitting right. I need to put a big X here, don't I?
I was gonna actually do that at one
The
point.
first things you're going to do is you're going to pin, similar to what we did when we did the strips, you're going to pin at the top, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to pin at the bottom. We're pretending this is cut exact, okay?
Are you gonna sew from the middle out in
No,
both directions?
No, but I'm going to
That
pin.
would be awesome if you did. That would be like
I'm
super
going to pin the
hardcore.
top and bottom. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to pin.
Now does the middle become the median?
Shush. Or this pin's going to become, you're
Gonna
going to
stick a
become
needle
my
in my
pin cushion.
eye.
And then I'm going to go to the middle of this one. I'm going to end up with, you're going to love me, I'm going to end up with pins every 4 inches.
So you're just gonna keep cutting it in half and
Keep cutting it in half, that's how you're going to pin it on. That's how you're going to work in any of the imperfections that you might have in your quilt. And you're going to keep going.
You're not gonna fold it in half though? Like,
She doesn't do that.
you don't fold it and like pinch it, so you know where the middle is?
Well, you in a big quilt, yes, I guess you could, but I usually just eyeball. But yeah, you can fold and pinch it. But when you get to the sections,
did you say fold and pinch
fold
it?
and pinch it. When you get to these small sections,
Finger craft, okay?
I don't fold. I just go halfway through. I keep eyeballing halfway through until I get. Now, obviously, this is a dinky little quilt, so it doesn't take long. But if it was a longer quilt, you could see I would spend all that time pinning. And then, if you were Brent
Well, you know I have an
and
allergy
you
to
really
pin.
didn't want anything to move, you could use the perpendicular pinning technique as well.
But I have an allergy to pins, so is
I
there an
know you do.
alternative?
I'm
gonna claim
nothing
I'm-
beats pinning.
I'm
I'm
claiming
sorry,
a
on the
medical
borders.
exemption to this border
I
technique.
have not, I guess you could use your glue, but I would not. I am out of pins. But this is the perpendicular pin technique as well.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool that it would give your border even more security as you were going. But that's how you would work it in. So what's happening is, I gotta do a diagram. What's happening is.
Diagram.
Oh,
We're gonna get a diagram.
as
We
you're
get
going
visual-
out,
It's a visual aid.
I do have a visual aid.
Some visual
I
aids
almost
in the
brought a
diagram.
grease board, but I didn't. Let's pretend,
We
Here
can
we
get an
go.
erase board.
this was the quilt I started with. And I'm gonna make them a little wonky over here, okay? That's not that wonky for a finished top. You see how this side is bigger over here?
I do.
This side's gonna measure bigger than that side, correct?
Yes.
And it's gonna be different than in the middle. Now, let's say I put a small border on that, but I do it your way.
Okay.
I sew here. I sew here.
Did you ever watch the Three Stooges?
I sew here. And I sew here.
Yeah.
What's happened, and I'm not worried about measurements. What's happened, this is grown even larger.
You just extended the wonkiness,
Yeah. Now it's time for me to add another border.
and that wonkiness just continues.
And I don't measure. See, I'm telling you, you're gonna measure every time you put a border on. Every time. If I'm putting 3 borders on, I'm doing this technique 3 times.
3 borders, 3 times.
Yeah.
But so.
Every time I
But
put a
that's
border.
every border. That's actually 4 times because there's a border on each
Okay,
side.
whatever.
That's like
But
12
what?
times.
Watch
you know
what
how many pins
happens.
that is?
You do the sides
Holy
again.
cow.
I'm doing the sides again. Now I got a bigger border. Guess what? Now I got even more wonkiness.
Why not just do one border instead of the 3 and just make it really big? You just put that side at the top.
You
A
know,
general rule of thumb on your borders is don't go more than half the size of the block in the quilt. Because then it starts to look,
Take away.
Yeah.
it starts to look ugly. It defeats the purpose. So that's a general rule of thumb. So if you're doing a 12-inch block, you don't want more than a 6-inch border. So let's say I have to grow the quilt 20 inches. I don't want you putting a 20-inch piece of fabric on it. That's gonna look like crap.
put another.
We want to
block.
break it up. And the
Seems to me if you're trying to go 20 inches, you might just want to add more blocks.
Well,
at that
and there's
point.
some beautiful blocks that make gorgeous borders, and I
Yeah.
won't bore you with that all tonight, but that's what I want to talk about, is alternatives to just the strips. And that's why I said, here's a challenge for Brenda.
Oh, God.
Do we still have the Barbie quilt or did we sell that?
Well, see, there's a perfect,
Oh,
that,
no, we have the Barbie.
The Barbie quilt?
lots of times
Oh,
we
yeah.
So
think,
we'll bring that out next week, 'cause that's a good.
Okay.
lots of times we think we need a panel for the middle of our quilt. You don't need a panel for the middle of the quilt. You can just use a fabric you're in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and
And that is the greatest fabric ever made that you're holding right now.
it is.
That fabric.
Picture this,
When we all
Brenda.
die and go to heaven, that's what we're going to be dressed in.
This is, treat this as a panel in the middle of your quilt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
I
then-
made a panel quilt. It's gotta go on the,
We got your show and tell on it?
Sure.
he hasn't done, he hasn't
Picture,
quilted it.
picture this as, you're using this as the panel
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of your quilt. A
Yeah.
big block, gigantic block.
Yeah, just like nice.
Now you take all the colors that are in here and you make pieced blocks around it. They become your border.
Oh, how fancy.
You could do pinwheels, you could do four squares, you could, just imagine the possibilities with this.
But your math has to be pretty good because you have to figure out how many pinwheels you need so that you're not cutting like a pinwheel, like, cutting off the last half inch so it fits on
You
that side of
definitely
it.
have to get your graph paper out or electric quilt. That's what I would do,
Okay.
an electric quilt.
Well,
And
we
I
have, a,
would
we, have a,
just-
we have a quilt we'll show next week where I didn't do any math and we still put pinwheels in the borders.
Okay, but pieced blocks make beautiful borders, or a combination thereof. You could
Yeah.
do a strip and then a pieced
Oh, yeah.
so anyway, that's further
Okay.
border stuff. But anyway, all right, we're over, sorry.
You'll be over. It's all right.
Sorry, I wanted to show
Everybody
you
was
how to
having fun.
miter
How many
borders
people
too.
did we have
'cause
watching today?
people want to know how to miter borders, so next week, I want.
Borders, that's all, yeah. Well,
No, it's not as hard as you think it is.
I know it's not.
Even if you've got stripes,
Yeah.
it's really, imagine that with it. It just,
So we're gonna do more borders next week.
yeah, because I didn't get to them all.
Okay, yeah, because I know I was bad this week. We're all over the map today.
That's all right. So the challenge is come in and get some of this and show me a piece
Don't
of
buy it
border.
all though, because I love this fabric and I didn't get to make anything last time we had it.
I want to see one of these with a pieced border.
Okay, I've got plans for it now.
I want to see
That's
with
gonna
a,
be a Brent special.
I want to see with a pieced border. I think it would be really awesome
I'm having plans for it.
with all these pretty
It's coming
little
together.
bright
But
colors.
I have to finish my t-shirt quilt first.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I think that's it. I was going to show you how to measure this one, but we'll save that for another time.
Okay.
But Brenda made this, so I'm sure measures perfectly.
It will tomorrow.
It will tomorrow. No,
She
you
trims
don't.
it.
You don't need to be squaring up your quilt before you measure for your borders, because that's going to create other issues. In fact, if you've got like Brenda had on this one, you've got points that you got to go with. See that? You got to get these points right. You want to make sure you still got a 1/4 inch from that point over. You don't want to be hacking up your whole quilt and then swallowing your points. You don't want that.
God, no.
We'll show you how to do that.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
There's a trick to that.
Yeah, just trim it and.
Very rarely is the quilt top perfectly square before you start your borders.
And what fun
Just-
would that be if it was?
But once your borders are on, it should be square.
Or at least close enough. Anyway, we are at that time that I hope you all enjoyed this wonderful. Oh, wait. Oh, Eddie's got me zoomed in. Thank you for joining us for another evening of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. We hope you enjoyed this hour of fun and happiness with us. Thank you again for watching. Remember, sew on and be excellent to each other.